Imagine hitting a gravel trail, climbing mountain passes, and cruising the interstate, all on the same bike, and not finishing the day feeling like you need a new spine. Japanese adventure bikes nail that sweet spot of comfort, capability, and affordability. Today we are breaking down 10 comfortable Japanese adventure bikes under 20 grand that you can buy in the US right now. If you want to ride far without going broke and still look cool on wheels, stick with me to the end. Honda XL750 Transalp. Now let's talk about a bike that has quickly become a rider favorite in the US. The Honda XL750 Transalp is Honda's modern middleweight adventure machine, and it blends comfort with capability in a way that makes it perfect for everyday riders. The seating position is upright and natural, so whether you are knocking out your daily commute or crossing a state line, your back and wrists are not screaming at you by the end of the day. The fairing and windscreen provide solid protection from the elements, and the suspension is set up to handle both pavement and light off-road trails without making the ride harsh. At just under 10 grand, the Transalp gives you a lot of bike for the money. That is a rare sweet spot, where a rider can step into adventure riding without going broke. Compare that to European middleweights like the KTM 790 Adventure, which asks a premium and demands more attention in maintenance. Or look at American options, which often focus on cruiser comfort, but cannot offer the same versatility. The Transalp proves that Honda still understands what real riders want. A bike that feels good to ride for hours, has the right amount of tech, and is priced so that normal riders can own it. Kawasaki KLR 650. Here is a name that has been around for decades, and for good reason. The Kawasaki KLR 650 is not fancy, and that is exactly why so many adventure riders trust it. This bike is built with a simple philosophy. Keep it comfortable, keep it durable, and keep it affordable. The seat is wide enough for long stretches, the riding posture is upright, and the suspension is forgiving enough to soak up potholes, gravel, and everything in between. Add in a massive fuel tank and you have a bike that can run for hundreds of miles before even thinking about a gas stop. Comfort here does not mean plush luxury like a full-size tourer. It means practical comfort, the kind you notice when you are 8 hours into a ride and the bike is still easy to handle. At around 8 grand new, it is one of the most wallet-friendly adventure machines on the market. Compare that with European adventure bikes, where base models often start north of 15 grand, and suddenly, the KLR looks like a bargain. Sure, it is heavier than a dirt bike and not as high-tech as a multistrada, but it will keep going long after others quit. That confidence and simplicity make the KLR 650 one of the most comfortable ways to chase adventure without spending a fortune. If you're loving this breakdown so far, hit that hype or like button, because the next bikes bring even more comfort, capability, and surprises you won't want to miss. Suzuki V-Strom 650. Next up is the Suzuki V-Strom 650, which has been quietly perfecting the middleweight adventure formula for years. Riders love it because it is the definition of balance. The 650 twin engine is smooth, the ergonomics are neutral, and the seat height works for a wide range of riders. On long highway runs, the windscreen keeps fatigue down, and on back roads, the bike feels nimble without being twitchy. It is the kind of bike that adapts to you rather than forcing you to adapt to it. And that is where its comfort really shines. The price hovers just over 9 grand, which means it slides well under the $20,000 ceiling while still offering genuine adventure capability. Compare that to bikes like the BMW F750 GS, which costs more and brings pricier servicing with it. Even Harley's Pan America, while impressive, is significantly more expensive once you add luggage and touring gear. The V-Strom keeps it simple. It is affordable, dependable, and practical, with just enough tech like traction control and ABS to make modern riders happy. Comfort on the V-Strom is not about luxury touches. It is about giving you a bike you can ride every day, everywhere, without feeling drained. That is why this 650 continues to be a favorite choice for adventure riders across the US. Honda Africa Twin. Now we step into legendary territory. The Honda Africa Twin is one of those bikes you see in magazines covered in dust, halfway across the world, and you think, yeah, that rider is having the adventure of their life. What makes it so special is how comfortable it is for something so rugged. The upright position, wide bars, and long travel suspension make long days on mixed terrain surprisingly easy on your body. Add in Honda's optional DCT, and you can ride all day without clutch fatigue. Starting around 15 grand for the base and topping out under 18 for the Adventure Sports ES, it still sits comfortably under the 20,000 mark. For that price, you get a bike with real off-road credibility and road manners to match. Compare it to a KTM 1290 Super Adventure or a BMW R1250 GS, and the Africa Twin offers nearly the same go-anywhere spirit without sending your wallet into meltdown. Comfort here is not about wrapping you in luxury. It is about confidence. You can sit on it for 10 hours, ride highway, gravel, and trails, and the bike just keeps asking for more. That blend of toughness and rider-friendly ergonomics is exactly why the Africa Twin continues to be a cornerstone of Japanese adventure riding. And here's the thing, we're only halfway through. The next bikes bring hidden gems, unbeatable value, and there is one model ahead that could easily be your forever adventure machine. Stick around. Honda NC750X DCT. Here is a bike that surprises people who underestimate it. The Honda NC750X DCT does not scream adventure at first glance, but once you ride it, you realize how cleverly designed it is for real-world comfort. The seat is low, the riding position is natural, and the parallel twin engine delivers its power in a smooth, easy-to-manage way. Add Honda's DCT transmission, and you can ride for hours without working a clutch lever. That makes it incredibly approachable and fatigue-free, especially in stop-and-go traffic or on long trips. At around 9.5 grand, it is one of the most affordable adventure-styled machines you can buy new in the US. Compare it to European crossovers like the BMW F900XR, and you see the difference immediately. The Honda is simpler, easier to live with, and far cheaper to maintain. Comfort here is not just about the saddle, it is about peace of mind. The NC750X doubles as a commuter and a light tourer, with practical storage where the gas tank would normally sit, giving you room for a helmet or gear. It is versatile, unintimidating, and designed for people who want one bike to do everything. That is comfort in its truest form. Honda NX500. Now let's talk about the little sibling that punches above its weight, the Honda NX500. This is a newer addition to Honda's US lineup, and it is all about making adventure riding accessible. The ergonomics are friendly, with a manageable seat height that makes it less intimidating than bigger machines. The upright riding stance and balanced suspension make it comfortable both around town and on long weekend rides. Riders who may find the Africa Twin too tall or heavy will feel right at home on the NX500. With a starting price just over 7 grand, it is one of the best value propositions in the adventure segment. Compare it to smaller European adventure bikes like the KTM 390 Adventure, and the Honda brings a more refined ride and a reputation for durability that is hard to match. The NX500 is also lighter and easier to handle than midweights like the V-Strom 800, which makes it a confidence builder for new or returning riders. Comfort here comes from balance. It is not overloaded with power. It is not oversized, and it does not intimidate. Instead, it invites you to ride further than you thought you could. That makes it an adventure bike in spirit, and a comfortable one at that. Suzuki V-Strom 800. Now let's move to Suzuki's modern midweight, the V-Strom 800. This bike builds on the V-Strom legacy, but with updated comfort and tech that make it a real contender in 2025. The riding triangle is spot on for all-day trips, with a relaxed seat height and enough wind protection from the redesigned fairing to make long highway runs less tiring. The parallel twin is smooth and forgiving, which keeps vibrations low and fatigue away. At just over 10 grand, the V-Strom 800 offers serious value in this category. Compare it with European rivals like the BMW F850 GS, which demands thousands more while delivering similar everyday usability, and you quickly see why Suzuki remains such a trusted choice. The 800 is comfortable not because it pampers you, but because it keeps things simple. Good suspension, a natural seat, and just the right electronics. Comfort here is about balance. It is not the tallest, not the heaviest, and not the most aggressive. Instead, It is the bike you can ride to work all week and then take on a 500-mile adventure over the weekend. That blend of real-world usability and affordability makes the V-Strom 800 an easy recommendation. Yamaha Ténéré 700. No list of comfortable Japanese adventure bikes would be complete without the Yamaha Ténéré 700. It has become a benchmark because of how well it blends simplicity with rider-friendly comfort. The seat height is tall but manageable, the ergonomics are upright and roomy, and the suspension is tuned to soak up rough terrain without beating you up. Riders say it feels like a bike you can ride all day, anywhere, and never get tired of. At just under 11 grand, the T7 delivers what many European bikes do at thousands more. The KTM 890 Adventure is quicker, sure, but it is also pricier and fussier with maintenance. BMW's F850 GS has its fans, but once again, the Yamaha keeps ownership costs friendlier. The Ténéré 700 is built with Yamaha's proven CP2 engine, which is smooth, reliable, and not intimidating. The comfort here comes from the package as a whole. It does not overwhelm you with electronics or weight. It simply gives you a bike that fits naturally and works everywhere, whether that is a cross-country highway blast or a rocky trail. That ease of use is its biggest strength. Suzuki V-Strom 800DE. Here is where Suzuki cranks up the adventure dial. The V-Strom 800DE takes the same comfortable package as the standard 800 and adds longer travel suspension, spoked wheels, and a design that begs for dirt roads. What makes it comfortable is that even with the tougher off-road setup, the seat and ergonomics stay neutral, meaning you do not sacrifice comfort for capability. At around 11.5 grand, the 800DE slides in just under the comfort ceiling for midweights. Compare that to the KTM 890 Adventure R, which costs more and often demands more maintenance, and the Suzuki starts to look like a smarter buy. Riders report the DE feels stable and planted both on gravel and on highways, which is not always true for more aggressive European rivals. This is the kind of bike you can load up with gear, ride all day across pavement, then peel off into the backcountry without needing a break every hour. It is comfortable in a different way, the confidence that comes from knowing the bike can handle whatever terrain you throw at it. Honda Africa Twin Adventure Sports ES. Finally, we arrive at the Honda Africa Twin Adventure Sports ES, the premium take on Honda's adventure platform. What makes it stand out is how it blends rugged capability with long-distance comfort. Taller windscreen, wider seat, heated grips, and electronic suspension that adapts to whatever you are riding over. It is designed for people who plan to live on their bike for weeks at a time. Pricing hovers in the 17 to 18 grand range, which keeps it safely under 20,000 while delivering nearly flagship-level comfort. Compare it to BMW's R1250 GS Adventure, which often climbs well past 25,000 once kitted out. And the Honda makes a compelling case for itself. Riders appreciate that the ES trim is built for touring just as much as trail riding, making it a genuine do-it-all adventure machine. Comfort here is both physical and mental. Physically, you get plush suspension, excellent wind protection, and a commanding riding position. Mentally, you know the bike is Honda reliable, which means your adventures will not be interrupted by surprise breakdowns. For serious riders who want one bike to do everything, the Adventure Sports ES is the top of the Japanese food chain. Now, there's one thing I missed telling earlier which you would definitely want to know. The Kawasaki KLR 650 has been in production, in one form or another, since 1987, making it one of the longest-running adventure models ever built. That kind of staying power sums up why Japanese adventure bikes continue to dominate. They are not built for trends. They are built for decades of riders. Which one of these 10 would you trust for your next big ride? Drop your pick in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the machines that matter.